Alright, so what I'm doing today is this is going to be Karazhan Keystone Mythic Dungeon. Level, I think we're doing a level 10 here, is what I think we're doing. Could be wrong about the level. Anyway, you're probably already familiar with World of Warcraft if you're watching this, and if you're not, Karazhan is a 5-man dungeon. There's going to be 1 tank, 1 healer, and 3 DPS, and we're going to have to do this quickly. There's going to be quote unquote trash that we need to kill, as well as bosses. And the boss encounters are going to be extra difficult because of the keystone affixes this week. Keystone affixes rotate each week, and this week we have tyrannical instead of fortified. Fortified would make the quote unquote trash, which is just the things you have to kill between each boss. And that would make the trash harder, and tyrannical makes the bosses harder. We also have necrotic this week, which means every time the tank or anyone gets hit by a melee attack, they take more damage and less healing until combat ends or until they run away, one or the other. So those are the things we have to worry about this week. It's not the worst of fixes for me personally, because I'm going to be playing on my Affliction Warlock today. This is 7.3.5. This is before we get to 8.0. That's coming up real soon, though. We know it's coming either next week or the week after that, real soon here. So we just started Keystone, as you can see, and we have a certain amount of time for each level difficulty. I have an add-on that's not turned on to track all that, but you have enemy forces, etc., etc. Oh man, that stuff's gonna be here this whole freaking dungeon. I don't have any way to get. There we go. Get rid of that. Alright, so you're going to see my abilities casting over here, and my target's abilities will be casting over on that side. You might not know what those things mean yet, but you might get a feel for it if you see what's going on. Alright, so you can see we have 2% of the enemy forces that are required for this dungeon. If you beat the last boss and you cleared through the place but you didn't kill enough quote-unquote trash, you'd be short on percentage and need to go back and kill some more stuff. You can't skip everything, in other words. You can skip some things, but you can't skip everything. I need to bring my Doomguard pet out. He helps me do damage. It's a considerable increase to have a pet out as a warlock. So, I was being bad for not having him out already. I'd like to thank anyone who actually is watching this, by the way, because this is a level 9, it's not even a level 10, we don't even have that tyrannical I was talking about. The boss fights are going to be quite easy. This is going to be a very easy stomp through dungeon, and I'll try to do a more difficult one on the next one. I'm just trying to get some content up and running here, just kind of get my feet wet. This is a brand new process for me, streaming, or not streaming, but just making videos in general. I'm going to start streaming eventually, but I'm not set up all for that yet. I chose to start making some YouTube videos and be able to, with discretion, look at my own content a little bit and decide if I want to put it up or not. And I'm probably going to have pretty low standards because I don't expect a lot of myself at the beginning here, but I'm going to continue to hopefully grow and get stronger and make decent channel worth watching. So we have the Opera Hall as our first encounter here. You don't know which one you're going to get until they start talking. When they start talking, they say, we meet 2 lovers born on opposite sides of Sentinel Hill. We have Westfall Story. There's going to be ads on the one side and ads on the other side. Kill the ads on one side, kill the ads on the other side. It's a little mini boss, Tony on one side and Maria on the other. It's a pretty easy fight. A lot of talking beforehand. Should give people health stones. Should have done that already. That was bad that I didn't have health stones. I'm a warlock.
So you want to rumble, do ya?
stomped and the damage. I didn't get a chance to really do much though. Everything died before I really had a chance to do much damage. It takes a warlock some time to ramp up on their damage a little bit. Unless there's lots and lots of things. Then I'll beat everybody if they pull a whole lot of things. So you're trying to avoid, obviously, those blue waves coming by. This is not tyrannical, so this boss fight will be over before we probably even see all of the things that you might expect to see.
Now that's what I call a hot foot. Wanna go for a spin?
Pretty easy fight, easy stuff. As a warlock, you can create health stones, which you basically people will click, or not click on them. That would be bad. I'm just showing you with my mouse what I'm talking about. But you use your health stone when you take a lot of damage, like I just did, and it'll heal you, and your healer doesn't need to. Okay, well, our tank's dead. I can use my battle res to bring him back to life. Hopefully he does that and picks these other things up. He did. You can only do that every so often. We have 5 minutes before we can do that again on a Mythic Keystone dungeon. I think you get one every 10 minutes. So hopefully we won't need another one of those for a while. So they're pulling too small, but if they pulled everything, I'd kill it all in like 2 shots, but pulling all slow like this. There we go. Get some more. The other guys are doing some serious damage. I can do much more AoE than this. I can do better if we're just not pulling big. Gotta try not to stand close to the walls like that so you can see what's going on. These skeletal ushers are kind of a pain in the neck. Not right now, obviously we're just gonna kill them. They do, if they live long enough, they do an ability. Everyone has to look away from it. If they don't turn their character away from it, they get disoriented, including the tank. So all the servants right here could just like go attack me if they did it, but it's not gonna happen because they're gonna die first. This is going to be too easy. I don't know if I'll end up uploading this video at all because it's just kind of a little too easy. It's not representative of what I kind of wanted to show people, but this is an easier keystone. This is what it looks like when you're below level 10. Because you don't have either fortified or tyrannical to really make things a little more interesting. It changes the situation. Hey, I got charmed. Now I'm attacking my friendly allies here. I killed everybody just about. Hopefully I don't wipe the group. I don't want to wipe the group. Ugh. I wiped the group. Well, that was interesting. Just when I'm saying this is, oh, this is easy stuff. I should never say that. Oh well. Gotta walk back. My character is scantily clad, as you can see here. I like wearing the least amount of clothing, especially on a male character. It's kind of hilarious. A lot of people in this game, they like to wear very skimpy clothes on their night elf females, and it's kind of ridiculous. And I'm just kind of, you know, playing off that, and almost no one dresses a male character this way, so it's kind of hilarious. And I like the way this transmog looks with my these. It's actually, it's not his shoulders, but it's the chest piece that gives the blue, and the red is my artifact weapon. That's my scythe. It's artifact weapons are going away after um when Battle for Azeroth comes out. Artifacts are going away, and they're basically special weapons that we've been using this entire expansion. You get different appearances for them for doing different things. This one was the Mage Tower challenge, which was it's a special challenge. I wish I got a chance to stream or to capture that and record it when I was doing any of those, but I've pretty much done all the ones I want to by now. So I'd have to do another character and do that, and that's too much work. This is already a Void Elf, which you have to. You have to get this special transmog set. You have to do not the entire. I'm not wearing a whole set. I'm just wearing part of it. But to get the special transmog set, you have to level one of the new allied races from level 1, and I did that. It wasn't hard. It just takes some time. But the Void Elves have a really powerful racial ability, or passive racial abilities, really. Their active's good, but I mean, it's really the passives that sold me. I could live without it. I'll show you what it does here in a second. So I can be facing these guys, and I'm fighting these guys. Then I face this way for a second, and I'll use the ability, and I'll go back to fighting, and I'll use the ability again, and now I'm all the way over here, and I can run away. That's the idea. I mean, there was no real reason for me to use it in this specific instance, in this scenario, but it's useful to have for certain things. I can use it to maybe keep up with the group while continuing to do a lot of damage without, needing to spend my time running around, because you have to stand still to do this casting that I'm doing. That's where a lot of your damage comes from, those long, hard casts. You can do instant casts when you're moving. That's these spells right here. I can cast those ones. And they're important spells for me to cast, but once I've applied them, there's no real reason for me to do it until it goes away, or it's close to going away. They're called dots, damage over time effects. Some people who are watching this might not be too familiar with World of Warcraft, so if any of this is, of course, not news to you, excuse me, but there are probably at least a few people watching this who are not 100% familiar with World of Warcraft, or I'm just going to assume that's the case, because I'm probably going to, ask some of my friends, hey, look at this. This is me playing World of Warcraft, and they won't even know what some of this crap is. So that's why I'm trying to explain it, if you are someone who's familiar with World of Warcraft. Alright, we're approaching, this is Maiden of Virtue, and all of the fights in this dungeon are similar to fights that were in the original Karazhan. This one is, I'd say, most similar to the original fights. Basically what she's going to do is she's going to cast a Sacred Ground on Jupkins here, and he's got to go run away. He was supposed to take that spot far away to the very edge of the room, instead he put it like real close to us. It's okay, we're going to kill a boss anyway. But that, on a higher difficulty, and with that tyrannical thing I was talking about, that might have been a bad thing, because there's not going to be enough room for us to move for the next one. So you want to take that as far as you can to the outside of the room. But like I said, this is so easy, it doesn't matter. The boss just dies. But basically after that, the boss will do a different ability. if the boss lives long enough. That will make everyone stunned and you won't be able to do anything. You'll just stand there until you die. So, well, you're not going to die because basically if you take damage, it'll go away. You stand in the thing, it puts damage over time effect, a dot effect on you. And then when you take that little bit of damage, the stun then breaks and you can go back to fighting the boss. If you didn't follow me, I'm sorry. But basically, the gist of it, the boss puts a spot down, you stand in the spot for a second and get a dot, and then you're not going to stay stunned for forever. More or less. This boss, he's got some friends, and the typical way to do this boss is you would pick up, this is totally different than original Karazhan. Original Karazhan, your characters actually had to have crowd control abilities that their characters use to stop his friends from doing stuff. So basically, they give you freebies in this. They give you crowd control, ghost traps to use. You just pick up the ghost traps and you'll have a perfectly fine crowd control button that you can use. In our group, we would have a hex, an incapacitate. I would be able to, well, no, I can't do anything. And the priest could shackle one. The druid could root one. There's different things we could do. Looks like they are CCing. So, oh, okay, we CC'd one of them. That one over there has been frozen by the trap that I was talking about. And that would be why you want to use some crowd control. You see how much damage everyone just took? If we were on Tyrannical, that would be us all dead. Just too much damage. This might be too much damage for the tank because he's got that necrotic thing I was talking about, to where he can't be healed. He's got to run away to get rid of his stacks, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. And Morose just chases after him. That guy. Luckily, I can battle res the tank because he's gonna die. I have what's called the Soul Stone ability. If that tank does die, which I suspect that he might, he will be able to instantly come back to life because I've precast that Soul Stone ability to store his soul for later. But we need it. Morose dies. Good for us. He had to run away from the boss to make his necrotic stacks go away. That's one of the things. It's called a dungeon affix. You only get those at certain levels as the keystone increases in difficulty. Right now we're at level 9 and we'll get the first two. We'll get Raging and Necrotic. Raging non-boss enemies enrage at 30% health, dealing 100% increased damage until defeated. They do double damage at low health. It's not that impactful. Honestly, Raging is probably one of the, I don't know if they're going to, but if they're going to change any of the affixes, they might make that one a little more noticeable by increasing its numerical damage. I don't know if that's the case. I suspect it might be, because you really kind of just ignore that and just go about your business. Because there's nothing you can really do about it anyway. There's not any counterplay besides not bringing things all down to low health at the same time. But, you know, sometimes you don't have much of a choice. Say you're fighting one thing, it's going to get to low health at some point. There's nothing you can do about that. You can save your damage ability, your strong cooldowns to make sure at low health it goes down faster, but like I said, you're going to have to kill stuff. Things are going to get low. It's going to happen. It's almost unavoidable. So it's not like you totally ignore it, but there's not much you can do about it. Then you've got Necrotic was the other one I was talking about. That's where melee attacks apply a stacking blight, then inflicts damage over time and reduces the healing received. Right now, say the tank's at 3 stacks, which doesn't really do much. 4 stacks. when you get up to like 10 stacks, the healer's pretty much not able to heal you very well anymore. And like at, I don't remember how many stacks, maybe 30 stacks, you're like literally not getting heals now. So, and that's from any source. You can't heal yourself either. The thing that does work is absorb effects, and this healer happens to be a discipline priest, which has just great absorb effects to use. They can use them pretty well, really often, all the time. So, pretty ideal healer for this week. The other thing that's nice about discipline is they can also do damage while they're healing. Other healers, they would have to make a choice. Do I do damage or do I do healing? But discipline healers basically can use their damage to do healing. As far as I understand it, I'm not a discipline priest and I'm not a healer, so I can't really talk about it too much. But as I understand it, that's how our healer is healing us. It's by doing damage as well. Not 100%, but part of his smites are healing us, basically. Okay, so this boss, it's kind of hard to explain. He does a bunch of crap. You dodge that ability. He jumps off his horse. You fight him. You dodge this ability. It's
4, 3.
It's not too bad. There's another phase where there's going to be like ghost horses that come at us. I don't know if we're even going to see it. Probably not. No, we don't see the ghost horse phases. There's ghost horses that come at us from both sides, and you have to avoid them. Yeah, like I said though, a lot of these fights, if you're on below level 9, it's not very difficult, and most groups will just storm through it like we're doing. So this is an example of one of those. I will get a harder dungeon for my next video, and you'll be able to see what, I guess, not real hard dungeons, but, you know, a harder above 10 keystone looks like in comparison. Ooh, my health stone. See, we killed all the bosses, but we didn't get all the trash until just now. Then we go up there and kill all the trash, and we're done. So we got +3. The keystone was upgraded as high as we can from where we started. And now we get to go to where we killed the boss. This is the dungeon's damage. It looks like the monk and the shaman were pretty much ahead of me this entire game, which is not normal for me. I'm usually a lot better than that, so a little disappointed in myself, but these guys are pretty good. So, whatever. Anyway, you're not going to get very good loot out of just this. This is a +9, and the loot gets better in item level the higher you go, up until level 15. It's probably not going to give me anything I really want. Oh, didn't give me anything at all. Doesn't have to. Some other people got some stuff. Nothing good for me, though. So I'm going to go ahead and find a new keystone for my next one, and hope you tune in for that. I will hopefully do a more difficult dungeon, and it'll be a different one because I've already done. Now you know what Lower Karazhan looks like. This is Lower Karazhan. I'm Dances. Thanks for watching.